Hi and welcome back to Save with Crypto. My name is Save with Crypto, and I just want to have a quick look at the Bitcoin price actually, because we obviously had a bit of a pullback last night because of the JD Vance going over to Pakistan and achieving nothing, I believe. That said, looking at this trend line we've had since the all-time high back in October, what we were kind of talking about last week was the idea that, you know, we could possibly break through that trend line, which would be a good sign of continuation to the upside. At the moment, it seems to have kind of rejected there. So whether that continues to pull back or not, we'll have to wait and see. Kind of looks like it will, doesn't it? If you look at how it did it before, it sort of goes bloop and then bloop, and then, you know, it might do that again. So if it did that, what kind of level are we looking at? Well, I suppose if you wanted to, you could draw another kind of trend line here, couldn't you? You could draw like a, one going up, like that maybe, you know. So we are achieving higher lows, which is a bullish sign overall. But that means the price could come down to 66.5k, that kind of thing. So that is definitely a possibility. Anyway, let's just do it with our indicator, Quadzilla, and this is on the daily time frame. You can see here, this is drawn some interesting levels. So it's got this bearish one up here at 89.26k, and it's got this bullish one down here at about 68.7k. So that would imply to me that it's quite likely that the price will come back down to that level there, and possibly go down to here before heading back up. That seems the most logical to me on the daily time frame. But let's look at some smaller time frames. But actually, just before we do, just take note of this green 55 EMA here and this yellow 21 EMA. Now, as you know, I love to see these cross over to go bullish and cross over the other way to go bearish, and you can see here that they crossed bearish back here in October last year, and the price has been coming down ever since. So could they cross over positive again? Well, obviously what I'm looking at is this area back here in January when it looked like they were going to, but they didn't, you know. Now, could that happen again? Yeah, quite possibly. But let's look at something like the 12 hour. Now the 12 hour once again has got this bullish retracement here at around about 68.9, and you can see that these EMAs did cross bullish on Thursday last week. So there are definitely some bullish signs. And in fact, even though when you look at the daily, like what we just did, and you see that these EMAs haven't crossed, if you look at some time frame like the 23 hour, so nearly a daily time frame, they did actually cross bullish on Thursday. If we go right down to something like the hourly, you can see once again we've got this bullish retracement here at 67.1. So I think what I'd like to see is the price come down here, so basically staying within this trend line here. Okay, now in the very immediate future, let's look at the 12 minute, and you can see that, yeah, for sure this does have bullish retracements down here at 68.4 and 66.8. Although we did just get one of these green bars here, which means that the trend is likely to reverse on that time frame. So we might see a little push up maybe today. I mean, if we look at the weekly time frame, you can see that the current candle is green, obviously, and will remain to be as long as we stay above 68.9 today. And if so, that will be 2 weekly bullish candles in a row. And that hasn't really happened for a long time. Not since last summer. In fact, if we look back in April last year, you can see that we had a green candle then, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles in a row, all bullish. So maybe we could see something like that would pull us above that trend line there. So to me, generally, it looks like we might get a little bit more of a pullback and then possibly go higher later in the month. Now, I've been trading this over on Bitunix, and I had a really good entry for a big long position last week. It was actually here on the 9th of April when we were down at 70,653. So I was happy with that entry, and I did ride it all the way up here without taking profit. I should have taken some profit because obviously we dropped down like $2,000 overnight. Now what I did do was I did a couple of little shorts from the top here coming down. So I did that while I was asleep. So I set the short and then set a trading stop loss. So they both closed now, but I can show you those here in the position history. So this one here was just a small Bitcoin one. I only made 0.0004 Bitcoin, which is almost nothing, but it was a 63.76% profit. And this one here was a bit better. This was a larger one where I was trading with about $400, and that one made 42%, making $184. So that was a bit nicer. So I'm trying to do that instead with this one. I'm trying to take shorts when I think I should be taking profit. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but I do want to keep this long position quite large just in case we do go back up. I have, however, got a stop loss set here at 71k, so the trade is protected. I'm hoping for a little bit of a pump maybe later today, and then maybe I'll get out there. Either way, this is the account that had $300 in January, and it's now got 6,225, so it's doing pretty good. But I must admit that was over 8,000 last night. So why did I take the shorts last night? It was basically because obviously the price had gone up quite a lot, and I was looking at it on the 12-minute time frame. And what I was seeing last night in the evening was this red bar here. You could see this convergence band here had got really, really high, and I was thinking that's got to come down soon. So I went short there. As soon as I saw it coming down, I set a trading stop loss, and I went to sleep, and I woke up this morning and they were both closed and had both made a reasonable profit. So that's how I'm trading this today. I am expecting those lower levels like 66, 67k, but I think we might get a little bit of a pump today before we go down properly. That's what I think anyway. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. While you're down there, please do make sure you are subscribed and you've got the notifications set on all. And above all, tell your friends.